Okay, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Loy Lee, and I'm with one of my best friends, the legend, strange since 1977, fucking Kuya P.
What up?
What's going on?
Appreciate you, brother. Always a pleasure to be sitting with you, vibing with you, talking with you, doing what we do.
Man, as we head into this holiday season, just the end of the year, we're just trying to tie up some loose ends, and it just does. Time doesn't seem to slow down. It just seems like we put more on our schedule. How are you holding up mentally going into the end of the year?
I'm holding up, man. I'm trying to learn to pull back, delegate. I'm uplifted in recent weeks because there's a couple people on our RRW team that are stepping up. We've got like a team lead for like events and shows, and that person is planning out the 2022 con schedule and all of that. There's another returning crew member that is now overseeing like the comic side of things, because that was always like her specialty. And so she's helping delegate and go through those emails to disperse it out and get people up on it. And she also brought sponsors, which is dope, and other writers. So that's amaze balls. And then there's Rob. I love you, Rob. Rob is gonna help me with the film and TV stuff, a lot of the cinematic media, because he's a big, film buff. I just gotta talk with him because he's so quick on making things happen. That there was a thread where he was like already hitting people up yet, but the film that they were supposed to have been reviewing, that I have him slated to review, he was asking if the review was ready, and I had to just, Rob, the movie ain't even out yet for that person review, so we can't jump down his throat yet. So Rob just taking the initiative when I fucking love him for it. I love you, Rob. If you're watching this, I appreciate it. So yeah,
Rob is so cool.
Letting Rob know, and just everybody else know, just thank you. And just taking that initiative, and I can't thank him enough. That's really what it is at the end of the day, and that's helping me a great lot. Great as we're rounding out this year, planning to move forward into the new year. That's just so amazing, and we're just gonna blast off, man. So this kind of energy and this vibe is just gonna be really dope, and I'm looking forward to, then taking that time to really step things up again even more, because is the whole plan. With the filmmaking, the production, my Barcata acting group that I'm in, we've got so many things in the works. All the great contacts I've met, and also through you, my brother, with these podcasts, a lot of stuff in the loops, in the works to take that into other levels. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of which, because you used to live in this area, do you remember WTOP?
WTOP, maybe not.
Kind of a radio station, also.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking like World
news.
Trade.
Yeah, I forgot what the acronym is for WTOP is, but a lot of coverage here in the area. Yep. And one of my guys over there is their news, covers the news there. He's a reporter there. Hit me up to do entertainment stuff with WTOP. So NRW is going to be collaborating with WTOP.
That's
on some
freaking amazing.
Going into the new year. So shout out to, I wish I could shout out Big Brother's name, but his name is escaping me. To my man, if you're watching this, I appreciate you. But just building, bro, building.
What's wild is that we've already done almost an hour plus in the NRW New Release Wednesday podcast video. And so we're kind of a little brain dead, but that's awesome. Congratulations. I think anybody out there, like really just kind of in a rut, you have to remember that your strength doesn't always rely on you yourself. Your strength is strength of the pack. The wolf doesn't find his power in his speed or his claws or his fangs, but he finds his strength in the pack. And Kuya, you are putting together a pack of just dogs, just workers. And I'm that guy. Listen, Kuya and the kid. Some days I'm Kuya, some days I'm the kid. And when it comes to this, I'm like, hey guys, I can't do anything, but I'll contribute. Whenever you need someone to sit in, I'll do it. But like, what do you want to do? Nothing. I just want to help out. That's what I want to do.
I appreciate it, brother. Nah, man, we got a lot of stuff. We figure out niches and everything, and we'll make it work, man.
Yeah, dope.
Your vibe and your energy is what's already rewarding as well. So can't thank you for that, man.
Stop it.
Hey man, that we were talking about stuff that we're peeping as well earlier, doing the weekly and stuff. Another show I would suggest to you, it's on Netflix. I know you're on Netflix and stuff too, right? Colin Kaepernick, man. He has a show called Black and White.
Okay.
It's kind of like his life story.
Dope.
Dramatic. It's not documentary, but he talks in different sequences throughout it. Ava DuVernay is one of the producers on it. But there's a young man playing his life. I think there's like 6 or 8 episodes. I caught like the first couple. But yeah, pretty good. I would suggest it. Yeah. Just a recommendation.
Definitely.
Other recommendations.
And I think we brought this conversation because he was asking me what I was watching, and I had mentioned Yellowstone with Kevin Costner had just gotten back, and then we were talking about was it the Mayor of Kingstown?
Mayor of Kingstown, yeah, that's gonna be on Paramount Plus. That's out. The first 2 episodes are out on Paramount Plus right now.
Same co-creator. Yep, yeah. And then Sheridan.
Not sure if it's Taylor or Tyler. But it's
almost positive it's Tyler. I mean, we've had the time to look it up, but we didn't look it up. So that's coming out 1887, excuse me, is the prequel to Yellowstone. That's coming out as well. And then I just finished Ted Lasso. So that's kind of what I've been watching.
Taylor Sheridan.
It is Taylor.
It is Taylor Sheridan.
Yes. And he's actually, you know what? When I look at his face, he's actually in the show. He makes like really short appearances. He plays a very specific character. But looking at his face, go, oh yeah, that's the guy that did the thing. Yeah, I recognize him. And I think it's a good example of how you have to create your own things. And he wrote it. He is a cowboy in and of himself. That's where he comes from. So he wrote about what he knew. And I encourage everyone to write your own thing and and profit.
I love it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, and I would again, like we said, I would love for you to check out Mayor of Kingstown, and maybe you and I can rap about it, man, because this show looks pretty damn good. It's
funny, when I first saw the trailer, I don't think I was really paying attention to it, but I kind of got that Brotherhood TV show, Whitey Bulger. Like I thought it was like an East Coast Boston mobster thing, and I was like, I'm good. But then we saw the trailer again. I was like, oh, I don't know. Was I drunk? I think I was drunk when I saw that trailer first.
Yeah. So stay tuned, y'all. If you're checking out the Beyond the Kuya on the Kid episodes on our NRW channel, me and Loy will hopefully drop some reviews on those shows. So that'd be fun to do.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward to creating more content. I'm curious though. Now that you're taking some time off for the holiday, right? You're kind of slowing everything down, shutting the machine down for a few moments. What do you have planned for the holiday?
Spending time with family.
Good.
We're gonna have the family over. Those that are vaccinated can't come over unless they're vaccinated to the house, because generally, we host amongst a lot of my wife's family lives here in the DC metropolitan area, Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland. They generally come over for Thanksgiving, and so we didn't do it last year because obvious reasons. We were in the thick of the pandemic. So this year we're going to now invite everyone over, as long as they're vaccinated. So that's going to be kind of like the kickoff, for the holiday season. But really December is just kind of putting stuff down and doing stuff together as a family. Although I try to do that, me and my wife, I'm not going to edit. Although I did edit here and there. But for the most part, I was relaxing with my wife, watching movies. We watched that Red Notice film that we talked about during the weekly with The Rock and Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds. We watched that together. This film that kind of surprised me, bro. And I would suggest it. I would add it to your holiday films if you have like certain holiday films you watch.
Home Alone, Sweet Home.
Not Home Sweet Home Alone. That motherfucking movie was garbage. That's a movie you just stay away from. But no, Netflix, Love Hard. Not Love Actually.
I've seen it.
Which I highly recommend. But
Jimmy O Yang.
Jimmy O fucking Yang, bro. Like, yep. I always enjoyed him and other stuff I've worked. I like his comedy. I like his acting. he can be, crazy, but then he can also be chill. He can be a romantic fucking lead, bro. I thought he was outstanding, dude. I enjoyed it. I don't know how you felt about it, but I was just kind of like going in there, ah, ah, and really enjoying myself. I thought it was sweet.
I thought it was fine, and not in a bad way. I get tired. I mean, we've been friends for a while now, and
be real with me, brother.
Oh, that's not what I mean. What I mean is we've been friends for a while now, and when things with Asians in movies, it has to be the best, right? It's like it's got to be the best, or it's horrible. But yet you see so many of these American movies, Hallmark movies, all of these made for TV movies, and they're just okay, and nobody thinks it's a failure. It's just okay. I'm glad that this movie, in my mind, was just okay, and I'm happy that we can just make movies. Let's make a movie that we are in, that we can be part of. Even if we're not part of the narrative, we're part of the scenery. We're part of it. And the movie is exactly what you would think it is, and it wasn't anything crazier than. It was fine. It was a Hallmark movie, and I enjoyed it for being a Hallmark movie. And I'm glad that we didn't seem to have put pressure on it to be the best rom-com in the history of ever.
I'm with it because didn't that kind of like what happened with what we did with Henry Golding in the one Game of Thrones girl that came out, maybe a couple Christmases back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
A lot of people. I thought it was decent. But it wasn't like great. But I thought it was fine. But we do put that kind of crazy pressure and stuff. And I think the biggest thing with this film though was that I enjoyed was, again, it broke down stereotypes. Like we didn't have Jimmy O Yang's parents running some Chinese restaurant in like Colorado on some
for
shit.
no reason.
For no reason, right? Yeah. This dude his dad's an outdoorsman, and he has a son that is, was super, craving attention. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of defied a lot of those kind of stereotypes that I enjoyed. It didn't have to fit in that box that they always label us in, man. And it was just a regular dude, was a catfish, it didn't have stereotypes that it played into.
Right, because a lot of times when you see Asian characters in movies, it's like you have to throw all of the things in there for no reason. Oh, their parents run an illegal gambling den in the back of their restaurant for no reason. It has nothing to do with the story, has nothing to do with the characters. It's just a thing. And that's troublesome. Where I love the fact, and I've always wanted to see the fact where you could interchange Jimmy O Yang's character with almost any other ethnicity, and the story just works. Why? Because it's not imperative that he be Asian American. Like nothing would be different. What I think is amazing is that he catfished, and the guy that he used to catfish with was also Asian. It wasn't like it would be very depressing, and I think it would be very eye-opening if it was like a white guy and like, it'd be addressing some deep-seated hate. It's like, I don't need to see that. I just need to see just an okay movie, rom-com, Hallmark, straight to Netflix. It was good.
Yeah. Bruh. And there was even that quote, like, because he brought up that point when spoilers, in the film, when she was like asking him, oh, it's because I'm an Asian guy. He was like, nah, I dated this Asian brother 2 weeks ago or some bullshit. Mm-hmm. Well, not 2 weeks ago, because she had failed relationships. But, they addressed that to a degree. And the fact that his favorite thing to do, his hobby, ain't no kung fu shit, no Asian-esque shit. My motherfucker like candles, bro. Fucking candles.
Yeah.
I was living. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a regular brother, man. And just, I appreciated that. Because, we get these boxes, bro.
Right.
And that just hopefully, if that way of thinking continues, then brothers like you and I can fucking get some work. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to be pigeonholed into the same bullshit all the time, man. So
it's good. It's a very, we have a lot of bittersweet conversations. It's bittersweet. It's great that it's like, that he's just normal. Like, he just has normal things. Like his parents aren't the tiger parents. He lives in a basement. Like we can be mediocre without it being a detriment. It's great that we've gotten here, but it's unfortunate that we're just talking about all the little nuances of this character that makes it different. It's bittersweet that we're here, but it's bittersweet that it had to got to this.
Yeah, I feel you, but I'm gonna take these wins, brother. We gotta take these wins and rejoice when we see it, because hopefully that will just, if we make it pronounced, because I think it's important that we talk about it and pronounce that this is important to us. Because again, I'm tired of fucking seeing it. If there wasn't such this amount of this stereotype that they place upon us, you know, and we wouldn't see this as much, or at least I wouldn't see it as much and be loving it as much as I do, because they always fucking do that to us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's unfortunate that people just don't understand. You know, people who are not Asian, they don't get to see. It's like, oh yeah, what's a big deal? It's like, you have to understand that you get to see yourself in everything all the time. We don't see ourselves in anything, and when it is, it's like it's not relatable.
Exactly. So yeah, man, that surprised me. I went in, you know, I was aware of it, but pleasantly surprised. It put a little tear in my eye and made me smile. And I was like, oh, I think I'll add that to my holiday list of films, along with Love Actually, that it took a lot of nods from, which I'm a huge Love Actually fan. It's in my holiday list. I know some people are like, that's too lovey-dovey, but it's right there with Die Hard. And now I'm gonna love hard, if you will.
What did you think of Red Notice?
Red Notice, shout out to Rob Medina, who dropped a review on the channel. As we've discussed in, I think, on the weeklies, a lot of these direct to Netflix, big budget stuff that they've been doing has kind of been so-so. I went into that feeling that was what it's going to be. I thought it was okay, better than I thought it was going to be. Not as, it is by the numbers. It is an algorithm style film, but I enjoy Ryan Reynolds can do anything and I'll fucking watch him. I love his humor. I love the way he does his thing. Rock is always the fucking Rock. Gal Gadot is gorgeous. It had those three elements and a decent enough story that it entertained me. You know, it isn't winning awards. It's probably not a film that is gonna, you know, be better than any of those other Marvel films. But you know, for what it is, if it's on, I'm gonna check it out. I enjoyed it for the ride. It's not as bad as Rob Medina thought made it out to be.
Rob Medina, I mean, he has a high level of expectation, I think, but that's why he's so cool. That's why he is so cool. So speaking of movies that could, that should, that may win awards, we had talked about watching a movie, reviewing it, because that's what we do here.
Yes.
You got to interview the director, writer, and a buddy from back in the day of mine, Justin Chon. And of course, we're talking about Blue Bayou.
Waiting to hear your thoughts on this, brother. You want to tell the story first? That's what we do.
Sure.
Right? So why don't you kind of break down kind of the story synopsis? And
well, give me a second. Right off the bat, what I like to do is read off whatever IMDb has to say about it as far as a synopsis. And let's see, right off the bat. As a Korean American man raised in Louisiana Bayou works hard to make life for his family, he must confront the ghost of his past as he discovers that he could be deported from the only country he's ever called home. And so it is Justin Chon. He was raised in Louisiana in this movie, and he faces deportation. Great movie. Fucking hits you right in all of the feels. It is very specific as far as like talking about deportation and adoption. And sure, you get adopted, but that doesn't mean that your life is all picket fences and puppies. So that hurt a lot to watch. And I don't really ever see these types of stories. So it was great to hear or see this story play out. I thought it was very adventurous of him. Very it took a lot of balls to try to do that Cajun accent, which I know is very difficult. I don't think I could ever do it. And his was, I'm no expert on it, but I would say that it was good enough for it to not take me out of the story or the storytelling.
Yeah, I agree. I think he can. Having lived in Gulfport, Mississippi, about an hour, 2 hours from New Orleans. It fit for me, or what from what I recall, because I was in high school when I lived there. But I thought it was decent enough. And yeah, man. Let me get into so we can really hit up this review. So I'll just bring up some of the actors since you broke down the story. Justin Chon, as we said, writer, director, producer on this film, and shout out to him for coming through, and check out my interview with him on the channel. He plays the lead of Antonio LeBlanc. His wife is Alicia Vikander, who plays Kathy LeBlanc. Alicia from Tomb Raider. She was the lead in Tomb Raider, Ex Machina, The Danish Girl, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., amazing actor. She is, I think she's going to be an even bigger superstar later on down the line, if not already.
Her accents.
Really good. She can, yeah.
Her accent. She was also in the Green Knight with Dev Patel, and she has like a very specific like Welsh accent, and then she has a very Southern accent here. Like, I'm blown away by her ability, not even to act, but just to take on the accents.
Exactly.
Yeah, amazing.
Spot on. Yeah. Like, she can disguise herself with her voice, and I give a lot of kudos and flowers to actors, artists that can really give that character the life to the fullest extent by being able to change your voice and mirror the voice that's requested. Outstanding. Additional members of the cast, Sydney Kowalski plays Jessie LeBlanc, the daughter. Oh my gosh, such an adorable little girl. And as you watch this film and just the arc between her and her father, Justin Chon's character, woo, and especially at that very end, it tugs at your heartstrings. I was in communication with the father of Sydney when I was doing the promos for the review. I actually did. I forgot who I did the review for the channel for Blue Bayou, because I did do an actual review before this review with you, and then as well as my interview with Justin. But just gave kudos to the father of Sydney, man. Just such an amazing young talent, and his daughter, just outstanding job. Other actors in there, Barry Boucher is Bondi Curtis Hall, a veteran actor, amazing. The judge, I believe.
Yep.
I believe
the lawyer.
The lawyer. Outstanding. Wait, you can't say enough about Bondi Curtis Hall, one of the great actors of our time. Another amazing actor and I was trying to get this interview booked. She was over in France at the time. This was going to be my other Blue Bayou interview. That actor that by the name of Linh Dan Pham. She played Parker Wynn, who was essentially this other Asian character that Justin Chon meets at the hospital, at a tattoo parlor. Kind of gives him the connection with his roots, and being an Asian American. But again, he's an adoptee, but helping him kind of recall his past a little bit. He doesn't know his parents, because again, he was an immigrant child, but just that kind of connection and her own story arc. Really wish that interview could have happened, but we had issues with her in France and all of that. But Linh Dan Pham, man, would love for you if you check this out. We'd love to chat with you to just talk about what you did. But that character tugs at your heartstrings. I knew I had aunties, ates, titas that were very much like that character. So I felt a lot with that character in the film. Linh Dan Pham plays Parker Wynn, and then just another rest of the stellar cast. Quite a bit of unknowns, but just these characters played their parts to the hilt. So check it out on IMDb for the full cast list. But I think everybody, it was well cast. He did his job, as he acted, produced it, directed, wrote it, starred in it. I can't give enough props to Justin Chon, man. I know, as we'll now get into the review portion, there's some controversy about how this film came together. But from my talk with him, he came with this with his heart, and I know what it takes as a filmmaker to make a film happen. I don't know the real breakdown, but from the vibe I got, he put his best foot forward. He tried to get people involved. Certain people didn't want to be involved. And then so your name's on that dotted line. You got to make things happen. Yep. And he did it, you know what I'm saying? And he tried to get people, and even because they said no. He tried to bring him back later on. I know I'm brushing through things a little bit, but I think we only heard one side of the story as part of like a lot of how the controversy came out. We didn't fully get Justin's story, but I think also to Justin's to Justin isn't this best person for himself. And speaking with people that are really close with him, he should have probably had somebody in there, because I think some of the stuff that came out that was from his camp didn't make him look too good. But I think his intentions were there, and he just, I don't know. It's kind of go ahead.
We're kind of brushing over it, and I think if you're not actually familiar with what's the controversy going on, let me try to explain a little bit. So what's going on in this movie? Adoptees from Asia, South Korea, whatever. They are getting adopted at a very, very young age, infants, toddler, and they grow up American, and they get into trouble as an adult 20, 30 years later, and then they face deportation. The problem is when they get deported, they're getting deported to a country they have zero ties in, they're not familiar with, they don't speak the language, they have no money. And the controversy being that Justin Chon had reached out to some of these people who have had these experiences or dealing with these legal issues. And one of them that did not want to be part of the movie feels that the movie is very, 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 very close to his story. Is that close to explaining it?
There's one person in particular. That Daniel Day Kim introduced. Daniel Day Kim, another amazing actor, introduced him to one of these immigrants. But I also want to add, because you said people that were in trouble. A lot of people that are still getting deported aren't even in trouble. It's not even the in trouble part. It's just the failed immigration system that we have. That's the number one. Is we have a failed immigration system.
In the failure
wasn't done right.
Yes.
They're just deporting people, and these people don't know that country. But I'm sorry, I'm getting on my soapbox because it just angers me so much.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Totally.
But Daniel Day Kim introduced him to a young gentleman who had a similar situation, which he was already writing this script. And so he had this one guy who had similar situation. This story is based off a lot of different stories, but so he brought this one guy on. One guy kind of saw it and was like, nah. And so he was like, okay, do your thing. And so later on, as he was finished and putting it out there, at the end credits, because you saw the film, he was putting up pictures of people that share these stories. So he reached back out to the guy. Hey, I'd love to put your picture up at the end to just show again, you're one of the representations of these people in there. And I think he said no to that, but then he was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know this guy's intentions. And again, I don't know the full story, but he was like, I feel in a way he's like, oh, I can do this as a cash grab, bro, or just put the light on me. You're taking my story. But it was already in the works. He gave you an opportunity to get down at the beginning. And then again, he just wanted to show respects. And then, okay, you didn't want your picture in there, but now you're trying to make it about you. I don't know. I guess I'm jaded because, again, society has proved itself to be evil. There's a lot of criminals out there.
I don't know the story. I don't know this guy's story. I'm going to go with, I didn't look into it. I just,
on either or. I'm not saying because Justin Chon could be guilty as fuck. I don't know, but I just know how people take advantage of people, especially when you're winning. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to make it, about themselves or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man.
So it's
complicated.
That's basically the controversy. And I could see it either way. And that's knowing zero information of the other gentleman that's making the claims. But it's a great movie. And I think that what I love, the thing that I always talk about is like, tell me a story I haven't heard, put it in this format that I haven't seen. The storytelling is gotta be told in a lens that isn't formulaic, like almost every movie. Going back to Red Notice, I'm sure it's very formulaic. Like, this is what happens, this is what they do about it, and this is how they conclude it, and it's very formulaic. This one was, I didn't know what I was really looking at. The way it was shot, some of the shots in and of itself.
Very artsy. He got a little artistic in areas, but
a little bit, but not enough for me. Listen, I have a big bullshit radar when it comes to artsy versus just tell me the story. So sure, some of the shots were like, okay, that's whatever, but it wasn't enough to make me go, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, you're just trying to pass off this shit as being like, oh, look, he's telling something so deep in just this one shot of a bug flying on the wall, whatever. I hate that shit. I fucking hate that shit. But this one was done well. I thought it was going to be ugly. I thought it was going to be a lot of race. It is the South. It is Louisiana. Based on the story alone, I thought it was going to be ugly. And I was pleasantly surprised that they stuck to the story and the hardships that come along with it. So I was very, very impressed.
Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, despite the controversy, like you said, man, I enjoyed it. There's a lot of deep-seated stuff, like you said, maybe a little too much lingering here on a shot or whatever. But like the song Blue Bayou, the name, to have that be the name of the film, when the character sings the song, the actual lyrics of the song, just how it paints a picture throughout in both his story as an immigrant, his relationship with his mother and her sacrifice, his relationship with his own child, and child on the way, and then you get Linda and Fan's character and her dying of cancer. Spoilers, y'all. Fucking just all of these layers, and then that ending, man. If you didn't cry buckets, bro, like I fucking cried buckets, man. And I'm a father. Just all of that just hit me so hard, dude.
So at the end, he has a stepdaughter, his wife's daughter. He's the father figure for her.
He has a daughter on the way.
He's the father figure for his stepdaughter. They have a very close relationship, and the daughter confides in him at some point once they find out that the mother is pregnant with his kid. She's like, I'm afraid that you're not going to choose me. I'm afraid, like most kids would be concerned that like, the baby is going to be your kid. I'm not going to be your kid anymore. And he reassures her. So once they find out that he's leaving, she gives him the cold shoulder. The girl gives him the cold shoulder, and then it breaks at the last second. Like right when he's getting on the plane, she yells out to him, and fucking hurts. It hurts so bad. Bro. But what I love about that scene, yes, the pain, the daughter, the all of that, amazingly shot, well done. But what I love about that scene was the mother and the daughter and the baby show up at the airport, and they're like, we're coming with you. And then he was fine with it. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This is the worst ending. You're going to take a mother, a newborn baby, and a kid to Korea, and you have no idea what you're doing. And he saved it the last second. He's like, no, you gotta stay here.
Hollywood I don't even know ending, right? And then
nah. Like the happy ending. And then he looks and he's like, no, you wait, you gotta stay here. I don't know where I'm sleeping tonight. Like, I can't bring you with me. And I was like, oh, fucking Justin Chan, fucking amazing. Because if it ended with them going to Korea, I would have burned the entire shit down.
Bro. Yeah. It couldn't be a storybook ending, man. It couldn't. And it's just tugged at the
and it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. But to make people be aware of this issue, it's sad that there's this other guy who, is making these claims, and again, it's sad because of it, yes, it's sad for his story, but then also that other immigrant kids and adoptees that are experiencing this, they wanted it more, they wanted it to see just how evil it is, because it's even more fucked up how this didn't show as fucked up as it is for what these people went through and are going through. It was also part of the controversy, right? That there's all this uproar when can't they just paint a picture to just show and make people aware and create change? Just be at least something,
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
I will say no, you're good. You're good. We're just no, we're having a lot of emotions here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cavalier with somebody's story, something that defines them as a person.
I agree.
But I will say this story needs to be told. This story is too important and so overlooked and so unaware that it needs to be told. So it's unfortunate that this person thinks that Justin's stepping on his story, his life, his definitive line of living, but it's like, it's so important to see the story.
Yeah, why does Justin Chan's story have to be everybody's story? He's creating this story to help create more stories. You write your own story. Help, let's keep telling this story. This isn't just one story. There's so many stories. That's what it's all about. We keep on getting these fucking remakes. Home Sweet Home Alone. Fuck Home Sweet Home Alone. We already had the original Home Alone. Let me hear more about these immigrant stories that are fucked up and just all of that. Like,
and if people don't understand like how crazy this is, and I get it. Maybe you're from white America and you were born here. Your parents were born here. Let's say your grandparents or your great grandparents left Germany or Poland or wherever illegally, and somehow, some way, you apply for your passport. You get pulled over for a traffic stop, and they go, "Hey, your great grandparents, they came here illegally. Guess what? One-way ticket to Germany, one-way ticket to Finland." How would that make you feel? Oh, you don't get a month. You don't get a year to think this out. You're leaving tomorrow. And I think that's the only way that people will understand, like, this is no bullshit. Like, you can't just up and leave. I've never been to China. Not for anything. China's fine. But if somebody were to tell me like, hey, you know what? You have to be there. You're deported there now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know how I would survive. I don't speak the language. I don't, nothing. Yeah. Forget the financial aspect. Culturally, you don't fit in. You would never figure it out.
Exactly.
And I don't think we think about these things. I think we think as Americans, we're fine. Oh, everything's fine. America's home. I'm American. Yeah. Well, what happens if it's not? To none of your doing.
Exactly.
So, great story though. Great movie. I recommend it. I hope it wins a shit ton of awards.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I think the person that I feel bad for as well as the family is Ace, the daughter's actual father, biological father. You see, I don't know what he did. I don't think they talked about it. But whatever he did,
here and there, but yeah, he tried to be redeeming at the end, but apparently he sold his whatever the fuck he did, whether it was abuse or just drinking, I don't know, but he must have crossed the line to have gone as far as he can, and what happened. And he tried to make amends, and that's it was too little, too late. But now, yeah, I can see you feel towards the end, but I'm sorry, you let your boy, who's nothing relationship to you in your relationship with that girl's mother, you let him beat down that other dude, and he didn't let him.
He didn't let him.
He didn't pull him back. He didn't stop him as much as he.
Oh, should. In the grocery store. I thought you meant like during the
grocery store joint. But yeah, I know that later on the brother did that on his own. That pissed me off, dude. Like, and it started at the store. Like, you could have pulled your boy off of him.
That's when you hate him, but at some point you go, oh, like, it's totally relatable. Like, it's relatable. He's like, yeah, you don't want your daughter to leave. You're gonna be the best man possible because you don't want your. I felt bad for him going towards the end, which means it was well done.
Yeah. You can feel for the characters like that.
Yeah, exactly. But, exactly.
It's crazy. What about the Lin Dan Fan's character with the cancer? That story, that kind of sidebar where he kind of saw. And started seeing his mother in his own story a little bit.
I thought it was a very interesting storytelling tool. I mean, she great, she looked great. Everything about her, great character. I will say I was a little confused with it. It's going towards the end, but it was that therapy that he needed to kind of get him through some of his childhood mother issues. I will say that I guess it was just a little confusing just generally because I don't know. What are your thoughts?
The cuts. Nah, it hit. it hit because I knew titas that died from cancer, and just seeing that happen here and there, but just that closeness and trying to get you to know who you are and help you find who you are. And
I relate. I related to him. She invites him over for a party of some sort, and cookout, and just the confusion in the look on Justin's character's face of just like, oh, I feel like I'm supposed to be here. I feel like I'm supposed to fit in, but it's very alien to me. Given the family's Vietnamese and he's from South Korea. But I understand. I saw that look of like, oh, I don't fit in here. I don't fit in there. I don't fit anywhere. Just that was
can relate.
The nuances to that scene was hard hitting to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Been there. Woo. Yeah. I'm happy you watched it. Got a chance because we were trying to finish it, and because you were gonna be on that review from what I recall as well, but couldn't get you in time on that. But it was a hard one, but an important one, and it's sad that there's controversy surrounding it. At the end of the day, if we can just have these conversations and tell more of these stories, that I hope that at least happens.
Yeah. Again, I feel like I've reached maximum capacity for the storytelling that Hollywood gives us. Right, it's the same formula, same setup, same punch. Everything has become predictable. Even if it's like not 100% predictable, it's predictable enough where you go, I've seen this before. I was pleasantly surprised, pleased in both the storytelling, the visual, the story, and the acting all around. So I can't recommend this movie enough.
All right, we'll see what happens come award time. We'll see. I know it's on my list along with, I think, 7 Days. What was that, the other movie that we really dug?
9 days?
Or 9 days? Yeah, 9 days. That was it.
9 days. With Winston Duke.
Yes, Zazie Beetz and Benedict Wong. Definitely, those are two of my films that really tugged at my heartstrings this year.
Yeah, I mean, one is very specific, and one is, the human condition.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? What in closing?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? You recommended them. Obviously, you recommend.
Oh yeah, I recommend it. And I hope it gets all the words. When I first saw it, I was glowing about it. I still am. I'm just saddened by all the controversy, and it also happened because around the same time Shang-Chi dropped, before it, and then all of a sudden here we have controversy over Simu Liu. There's already existing controversy over Aquafina, and it just, as an Asian American, we get wins, but then our wins get tainted, if you will, because there's controversy over certain people that are involved with the projects. So there's the controversy with Aquafina with the black scent. Then Simu had a controversy over some statements he made in his past, apparently, but they weren't exactly, you can't exactly say that he made those statements. I don't know that. I don't think that was ever clarified. Some statements he apparently made when he was on Kim's Convenience, but yeah, so that tainted that. And then here we have Blue Bayou. Shang-Chi was killing in the box office. Here comes Blue Bayou, great film. But then here's this other controversy, and then now we're trying to tear down Justin Chon. So just like, man,
I'm okay with it.
Americans win. Oh, and then earlier in the year we had what was the film? The animated film, Raya and the Last Dragon. No, well, Snake Eyes. Oh, let's fucking throw Snake Eyes in there. But we had Raya and the Last Dragon, another great film.
With that one?
Well, it did well, but the controversy was initially it was centered on a Southeast Asian. Well, it was a Southeast Asian character,
Filipina. That's right.
But we had a Filipino in the role. But then I love Kelly Marie Tran, but she isn't Southeast Asian, and so the controversy is, you plugged her in there, and so again, that just made the Southeast Asian film community feel like unseen. And then here we have Snake Eyes, and as a deep G.I. Joe fan, I love Henry Golding, but that movie wasn't Snake Eyes. That wasn't G.I. Joe that I grew up with. But I understand they were making a different story, and then I took it for that grain of salt, and I did enjoy half of the film, but the other half went into ridiculous territory and made no sense. And just, it was sad to see because it could have been so much better. And but just here's all these Asian wins this year. We've had quite a bit of like amazing representation in films, and
forget all of the
ways.
controversy. The fact that we are having this conversation, the fact that we are,
that is true. We should be happy about that.
I could care. Of course, we're always going to have controversy, and I can't wait for the day that it's not. But until then, it's like, I don't care. We're here. We're finally having this fucking conversation. We're finally having something out there to have a conversation about.
That is true.
I mean, Joy Luck Club, 10, 12 years later, A Better Luck Tomorrow, which wasn't that big of a hit. You know, it's for us, it was, but ask anybody that's not us, they won't know what it is. 30, 20 years later, whatever it is, then we finally get Crazy Rich Asians, which we haven't had a sequel to yet. For Christ knows why. You know, fuck it. I don't care about the controversy. Our stories are here. They're told. You can't unring these bells. Fuck yeah.
I'm with that, man. And that should be the most. I get sad because I feel that they should be so much bigger, but I think in different ways our own community shut it down as well. I'm sad about that. Like we do the infighting amongst ourselves. Yeah,
don't think about
we
that.
We are winning. Shit. Like when you think about it, dude, we had Snakehead. Shout out to Evan Jackson Leong. I know you felt, okay with it. We have Cowboy Bebop. I fucking love it. But already the reviews are dropping now because the embargo date lifted. Shout out to my girl Maki Roll. I just dropped our Cowboy Bebop review. I saw the whole series already, and I think it should pave the way for more animes to be translated to live action. But already reviews are like, man, the anime purists are against it. What the fuck?
Which is great. I mean, you have to understand, this is the exact example of any publicity is good publicity. Mm-hmm. Because anyone that goes, oh, I'm the best at I know everything about anime and I don't like this. Everyone goes, okay, well, let's see what the problem is. The fact that we're talking about it, we are at such I don't think people understand it. We are such a low representation. We are at the starting blocks of this thing that the fact that anyone that's not us is talking about it, great. We are at square one. The fact that we are even in the conversation is a win. If you told me 10 years ago we were going to be able to watch more than one movie with us leading at the movie theater at once at a year, I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't. But here we are. I'll take it.
That's a great positive note. You just made me smile right there at the very end because it's true. And I feel there's a renaissance happening. Like I know because I'm building it myself with my Barcada, with you, with a lot of people that in this past year, man, I'm inspired, to be honest. All of this and even this anger, to be honest with you, has inspired me. I'm like, fuck you. Because again, while everybody and all this controversy is happening, I fucking loved it. I enjoyed all of it with the exception of Snake Eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
all of them to me have been great. I enjoyed Blue Bayou. I enjoyed Snakehead. I enjoyed, Riot, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're still gonna keep making these films, and we're cool. People are seeing that we're cool, and it's great material. And we'll just keep building.
Was Raya this year?
Yeah, Raya was this year, I believe.
That's fucking amazing. Raya, Snake Eyes, Snakehead, Blue Bayou, like Shang-Chi,
Cowboy Bebop,
all of that.
Love Hard, a fucking movie that we just talked about earlier. Jimmy O Yang fucking leading a film and being a normal fucking dude with no Asian stereotypes there. Just
if Blue Bayou came out in a year by itself last year, if it came out last year, like, yeah, that makes sense. He had to go and produce it, write it, all this stuff. But the fact that we're getting blockbuster movies, we're getting real promotional dollars behind us. Like, I don't care what people have to say. It's like, if you are upset at one thing or another, oh, the representation, Southeast Asia, it was like, you haven't been paying attention to the narrative in the long term. Like, we don't get a movie every year. Think about it. 2 years ago, the biggest movie that we were in was Forever My Maybe. You'll Always Be My Maybe.
Always Be My Maybe, yeah. Dope film too, by the way.
Yeah, and then what was before that? Like, that was the one movie that we got that year. It's like, yeah. Have you not been paying attention? So yeah, the controversy, that's fine. Let's everyone that's not us talk about it, and it brings people into the story. Our stories need to be told, our faces need to be seen, and controversy or not, fuck, we're here.
Hell yeah. And we'll leave it at that, brother.
Yeah.
How can they reach out to my brother Lloyd Lee and everything Lloyd Lee?
You know what? You do this all the time. How do they reach you? Let's go with you first, sir.
Your boy, the legend Kuya P on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Over at the Nerds of Color, at Show Pow Show. And of course, here with my brother Lloyd Lee, killing it at the NRW at Nerds Wednesday, where nerds rule the world.
I got a question though.
Up,
what people really want to know is how they reach you is like, what is your eBay? Because you're gonna sell some of that stuff.
I think it's the Strange World, but nothing's on it right now. I ain't post anything up. When they start posting, I'll definitely put the word out, brother.
You should start putting stuff out there.
Of course, I got to make use of this time, right?
Everything that's in the back right now, that we can see, it just increased by 10%.
Like, let me know. That can all go. Everything behind me, straight up, all of that Todd McFarlane Spider-Man standee, all the toys you see there on the wall. That Marvel's poster is signed by Alex Ross, the artist. You know who fucking Alex Ross is? He's the painter. He painted that, and he painted a lot of stuff. Even the one below it's Alex Ross, but that's not signed. But that Marvel's thing is autographed. It's a limited edition as well. Yeah, limited edition piece there. But everything you see behind me can go.
That's got to pay. Yeah, so just start putting stuff up, and then the fact that it was on the set of the Kuya and the Kid podcast,
the original set.
All right, Chip. Yeah, so you got to start putting stuff up on that eBay, which is the Strange World on eBay.
The Strange World, yeah, but it's nothing there yet. But once it's up, I'll let y'all know. Yo.
Okay, well, we'll change that. All right, and then you guys can find me, Loylee Comedy, on all your social media, everything. LOYLEE Comedy. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. You can find me here, Kuya and the Kid. What is it? What do we come down with the acronym? KATK? KATK?
Catka.
Cat K? Whatever.
KK, we'll yeah.
KATK, guys.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I don't know.
We're having internet issues,
cutting out. So
was going in and
on
out.
that note,
the world's telling us to leave now. We're out of here. Blah, blah, blah.